Ordinance amending ordinance number 08-2901 to repeal sections 1A, 1C, and sections 1C, 2, and 3, the daytime curfew ordinance, and this was requested by Councilman Cason. Mr. Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. I placed this on the agenda this evening because of the prior discussion that's taken place on this issue. I've spent the last 2 weeks reading information that's been provided to me by a number of sources, both from staff and from our citizens. And I've given this a lot of consideration over the last 2 weeks since our last meeting. And for me, this is a multifaceted issue. There's several branches to this, and I think several ways of looking at this. The information that was provided to this council in prior meetings, I stated, didn't really connect the dots for me. And after reviewing everything that's been provided, my opinion is there are a whole lot of different views on this subject. And these two gentlemen this evening pointed out a few of those. The thing that catches my attention the most relative to the constitutionality of this debate is the fact that our courts can't even agree and be in unison. Some think it's unconstitutional, some courts think it's constitutional. When I look at one facet of this issue regarding our public resources, our first responders, our police, I know that I pay about 60% of my taxes to the school system, and about 15 or 16 go to the city of Bedford. Looking at it from that point of view, I feel like I am funding the school district to take care of their business and to address everything from, books, truancy, gasoline for school buses, you name it. That's what that 60% covers. The 16% goes to fund services in our city, to pay for our firefighters and for our first responders, our police and things like that, city services. Seeing that we've issued just one citation, I believe, is that right, Chief? I think that and another thing I'll add in here is some of the information, in addition to the studies and the papers that have been provided, there were a number of emails from other chiefs of police in other cities as far as Austin, Round Rock, San Angelo, all over. Some of these cities have curfews, some of them don't. And it really wasn't until yesterday morning, I was getting ready for work, that it hit me. I was talking to my wife, and it actually hit me when I was in high school. In my junior and senior year, I participated in a program called COE, Cooperative Occupational Education. And I would leave at 12 o'clock. I would get in my 1957 Chevy, and I would drive to the gas station, go to work. I was 16 years old. And yesterday morning, it really, for the first time, hit me as far as how would I feel if I was the parent of a 16-year-old son that was going to work but knew that there was a daytime curfew. Well, my first response to myself was I would worry that he would be stopped and questioned and not to be harassed or anything, but just because the curfew was in place and the police would be doing their jobs. They would be doing what they're asked to do. And I felt like for the first time in this whole debate, we've made a wrong decision. I, for one, and I'm not proud to say it or not say it, I did not do my due diligence on this. And I know the question has been asked. I'm not going to speak for the rest of the council, but the amount of information that's here, some of these articles, I recognize their titles, the organizations, some of them I don't. And whatever the reason is for the school district asking for this assistance, I look at this from a different point of view now, and I really do think that that old saying, one or two bad apples spoils the whole bunch. If we've got a handful of truants that are constantly leaving school and having to be retrieved or picked up or causing problems, I don't believe that the way to deal with this issue is to impose a curfew on the entire city that impacts dozens or hundreds of other people. And, you know, you can look at it from a financial aspect where our resources are allocated. You can look at it from a personal liberties aspect. One of the things that I picked up on when I was reading through this information that was provided, a quote from Ambassador Alan Keyes. I would assume most people have heard of Alan Keyes. He says, one of the hallmarks of a free society is the law-abiding citizen's ability to go about unchallenged by state authorities, secure in the assumption that the presumption of innocence protects him from inquiry or interference without clear and just cause. That's pretty powerful. He goes on to say, curfews contradict this ability and contribute to the slavish state of mind that characterizes people who live under totalitarian systems and who must be prepared at all times to give to state authorities some explanation even for their innocent pastimes. And personally, after reviewing all of this information in our current ordinance, I think that there's enough in place to cover this without continuing a daytime curfew that now, in my view, really does impose a penalty, an unfair penalty, on homeschool parents and their children's right to go about freely without the fear of being stopped by the police. Now, I know our police department. I'm a former police officer myself. We've got one of the finest police departments in the country as far as I'm concerned. And I wouldn't think for 1 minute that their right to stop someone under this curfew would be used in any other way but the appropriate way. But even that, with a parent sending their child or children to the park to take care of exercise credits or, you know, physical activity credits or whatever they do, or to run to the pharmacy to get some medicine, I can see the cause for concern there. And I truly believe that we have enough coverage under state statutes to take care of these issues. And from a financial aspect, I can't connect the dots, and enough data has not been presented to me to prove emphatically that this ordinance is doing anything. And myself, I would rather come down on the side of the citizens, in fairness to the homeschoolers, the private schoolers, and people that don't attend the public school. And I would ask that you consider the information that's been presented, the things that have been said, and consider repealing this ordinance, the daytime curfew portion of it.